Which degree is the best when it comes to the oil and gas industry? This is a question that you might be having if you are interested in studying or enrolling for an oil and gas related degree. And there's quite a bit of motivation why you might actually be interested in understanding maybe the best course in the oil and gas industry, because you're trying to probably map out your career or your profession in terms of what you are going to be doing in the oil and gas industry. And there is a very huge correlation between what you study in school or the oil and gas degree that you study and the opportunity for you to actually secure a job or even have the skills to be able to build an oil and gas related business. So trying to figure out the best oil and gas course is actually a very smart way for you to start getting involved in the oil and gas industry. And this is a question that any parent who has a kid or who has a person who is interested in joining the oil and gas industry, or even you as an individual, might have, because you want to know of all the available oil and gas courses that are available, which is the best degree that you can be able to pursue. And there are quite a number of oil and gas related degrees that you can be able to actually pursue, that you can enroll on. And each of the oil and gas degree that is available has its own merits and demerits. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. So you need to be very clear on exactly what it is that you want to achieve when you are looking for the best oil and gas degree to pursue. If you ask me, there are actually more or less two main degrees, or two of the best oil and gas degrees that you can pursue today. One is related to the technical aspect of the oil and gas sector, and the other one is focused on the business side of the oil and gas industry. So in very broad terms, I'm talking of the best degrees in oil and gas industry being the petroleum engineering kind of a degree, or a course that's related or very close to petroleum engineering. At the same time, you also can pursue a degree on the business side of oil and gas industry, or a business degree that relates to natural resources, to oil and gas and energy as a whole. So these two, to me, are the best oil and gas courses that you can pursue at the moment. Studying an oil and gas degree, or having an oil and gas degree, is one of the paths that you can take if you want to participate or to get involved in the oil and gas industry. And there are quite a lot of benefits to you studying a petroleum or oil and gas related degree. There are quite a number of universities that are going to offer you those oil and gas degrees. You can pursue a business degree related to the oil and gas industry, or you can actually pursue petroleum engineering as a standalone degree. And you're going to pick any of those or both of them depending on your career perspective, depending on your career preferences, depending exactly on what you want to achieve in terms of getting involved in the oil and gas industry. But before you even get to the point of picking the best oil and gas degree that you can pursue, it is important you know what it is required for you to even qualify to study a petroleum or oil and gas degree. You actually need to be very good in STEM. You need to focus your high school or lower level college education studies on topics that are actually related to STEM. But before you even get into actually securing or pursuing a degree in oil and gas industry, or even before you get to answering the question of what is the best oil and gas degree that you can pursue, you actually need to understand what it takes to actually get there. And if you are a parent, or if you are someone who is interested in studying degrees or enrolling for a degree related to oil and gas industry, or you want your kid to ultimately get into the oil and gas industry, you might be interested in understanding that they should probably be focusing on STEM related courses, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And especially if you are a woman, or if you have girls who want to get into the oil and gas industry, The study of STEM or getting involved into STEM related courses or subjects is very important because they lay the foundation of your career in the oil and gas industry. So if you want to get into the best oil and gas degree when you join university, you need to have also scored very good grades when it comes to your either science, technology, engineering or mathematics related courses. And this is important because, as I mentioned, the study of STEM related courses gives you a solid foundation and background when it comes to pursuing oil and gas degrees that can actually end up giving you an opportunity to pursue a career in the oil and gas industry. The job growth in the oil and gas industry continues at an annual pace of about 4 to 7% each and every year, adding into the job market about 300,000 to 400,000 jobs. But the application pool or the applicants pool continues to be very tight, which makes it very difficult for the oil and gas companies to actually hire people that they want when it comes to some of the roles that they want to fill. And this is where having the best oil and gas degree comes into play, because some of the roles that are required means that there are very few people who have actually the knowledge or the education background to actually secure those jobs. Some of the best oil and gas degrees that you can pick or that you can study if you are looking to get into the oil and gas industry include petroleum engineering, petroleum geology, chemical engineering, and mechanical engineering, among others. And this just forms some of the key technical oil and gas degrees or courses that can equip you with the skills that are needed when it comes to filling some of the roles that you can play within the oil and gas sector across the entire value chain. In addition to these 4 technical oil and gas courses or degrees, oil and gas companies also hire people or graduates with skills related to civil engineering, mathematics, physics, business related courses, as well as liberal art degrees, because as you can imagine, an oil and gas company does not just look for oil and gas resources. There are quite a variety of roles that need to be played for a company to actually be complete, and that involves being able to have people with expertise and skills on both technical side of an oil and gas business as well as the non-technical elements or side of the oil and gas business. So you need to be able to first figure out what it is that you want to do within the oil and gas industry before you determine the oil and gas course that you are going to study. Employment in the oil and gas industry or across the entire oil and gas value chain is expected to continue because there is a lack of skills or people with the talent to work in some of those technical roles. And while you can be able to tap into these opportunities, you may be required to do research and understand some of the best oil and gas degrees that you can pursue if you want to actually get a job or do business across the oil and gas value chain. If you have enjoyed this particular video, go ahead and watch the video on your screen right now. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not, and I'll see you in the next video.